Hey YouTube, just a quick video today. I often say that, but this is just fixed up my pal Ivors strat. I don't know where he got this from. It's got a square neck on it, but I don't think the rest of it is. It kind of looks a bit like a sort of mishmash of bits. It's got brass saddles, 5 brass saddles and 1 normal saddle. So I'm not. I've seen these saddles before and I can't think where. I think it was maybe a. I seem to remember having a sort of Peril Honor Arbor series that had these saddles, I think. Um, I'm not sure. Inside, and I had to replace 2 tuners because they were broken, so it's got 2 odd tuners as well. It kind of adds a wee bit of character to it. It's a nice colour. It's been repainted at some point, but it's been repainted well. Better than I can do. So there must be something I'm not quite getting with the painting thing. So pretty cool. The wiring inside was an absolute mess. You know, gave it to me as app. It just makes a noise when you plug it in, and it's like I don't know what it was wired up to. I couldn't make sense. I think maybe somebody just sat there with like a soldering iron and wires and just stuck them onto things at random until they made a sound, because it didn't have a tone cap on it, so I don't know what they were doing. Also, the pots, is it still lying about here? Annoyingly, it's got a nice made in Japan switch in it, but it's totally mangled. It's like when people can't solder, it looks like they just kind of pour liquid solder into the guitar rather than, you know, the trick about soldering is you put solder on the wire and you put solder onto the thing you're soldering it to, and then you join the two together. If you just take a bare wire and stick it on and then just try and pour hundreds of solder on it, doesn't stick, so you used to end up with big globules on it. So that switch was unfortunately gone. This pot was it says made in Italy in the back of it. I have no idea what it's from. It's a funny, is it 25 meg or something like that? A 0.25 mega ohm. I don't know. But it didn't work anyway, so had to ditch that, replace it. So set it up, playing. I've changed because I bought that big box of capacitors where I misread the advert, and I ended up buying 1,000 of them. It's like, but I don't have 1,000 the high pass filter ones. I've got something like 100 of them, but they were cheap from China. I'd looked at it as it was like 50 different capacitors for like, it was only like £3 or something like that. I thought I'll buy that, but it was 50 bags of 20. Well, right, so I can basically have any capacitor. So instead of having a volume and we've got a volume, a high pass, bass cut knob, and then a normal tone control. Just so I'm using them up. I always feel that strats kind of get that having the 2 tone controls doesn't really do much for me. I don't really, seems like a bit of a waste. I do kind of get it look wise having 3 pickups and 3 knobs, but having like a tone for this and a tone for this, I don't really know how much use that is. I think maybe it made more use like when it was invented back in the 50s, when you never used to have a 5-way switch. You're basically meant to be able to choose this pickup, or this pick. There was no combination in it. So you had, you could, I suppose you could set the neck pickup to have a particularly bassy tone, and I just don't think it works that well these days. So just playing through my wee Laney, just gonna have a wee bit of a jamboree, see what happens. Neck pickup. no bass. Joyous Dream pedal. Bit of a time for a pedal rearrangement. I think I've got the power lead that runs into my Washburn stack in a box is a bit stretched, which is causing it to kind of go a bit. And it's next to the fuzz pedal, the Behringer one. Also today, it's like as soon as you take away, I mean, I very rarely ever touch the pedals that are now sitting over there and below the heater, like the chorus, tremolo, chorus, delay, the phaser and the flanger. Like I very rarely press them, but there I felt like pressing them, so I'm going to have to connect them back up again and maybe have them on their own separate loop, just for in case that happens. You know, like with a guitar that's just kind of like a strat. I've not really have that much talk about different pickup combinations because you know what a strat sounds like. So this is not quite holding tune just now because I've just put strings on it. I was bending them a fair amount. Listen there, there's stretch the strings in. But yeah, another decent Strat. I'm not sure, does anyone know about these Squier? It's a Squier Fender Strat. There's no serial number stuff on the back, and there's no indication that there was a serial number that's been scratched off. There is a model serial number on the back of the neck plate, but it's just 30199. So I don't think it's from this guitar. Also, is there something odd shaped going on here where it's not quite a Strat? You know, it's like when you get like a copy strat, it's like, well, obviously a square one will be pretty much identical to the Fender shape, whereas you get the other ones that are just kind of just not quite. I just feel there's something not quite the right shape about it. So, Ivor, your guitar's working and playing pretty good, and I like the colour. It's a little bit more interesting. It's a wee bit of a bitsa kind of. I didn't look very hard. I just used the tuners I had were just ones that I had, were in my box. You know, like odd ones. I never throw anything out that works. So occasionally I buy a guitar that's got, you know, a couple of tuners missing. I don't throw away the ones that don't work. I just put them in a box and I can just using them up. But adds a wee bit of character. Rock on. Oh, and check out Baby Metal single came out yesterday of a pure mental song. I just don't even know what you would call it. BMC it's called. It seems to be some sort of computer game sort of thing, and it's sort of like hip hop or rap or something. I don't know. It's nuts. I saw they played it live when I saw them in February actually, and at that gig, the last gig before all this happened, and it was amazing live. That Sue Metal just singing that. Watching it goes like, yes, she does do that live. You're just like mental. Rock on.